in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari, King Selassie the First. This is our first episode of It's Our Thoughts, Not Yours. I am your host, OG, alongside my son, Likabuli,
What's up?
and his wife, L. I haven't figured out a nickname for her yet.
Hello.
I like to give nicknames.
I saw
And
you call me Lash.
Lash,
Lash Cash. I don't know. That's
Lash Cash.
that's like a nickname I came up with when I was in middle school. And I made it my my Snapchat name.
Okay. Okay, so that's your brand. Lash.
Yeah.
Okay, no doubt. So there you go already. Boom. You see how the mind works? Lash. Now, before everybody does their intro, I'm going to give you a quick little sidebar. I'm what you call a Brooklyn Jamaican. And what I mean by that is I speak Brooklyn. You will hear me say son. Not I mean. My nigga. That's the way I talk when I'm around my peoples. And my son and his wifey, they're my peoples. So, sidebar over. Look a bully. Give your introduction. Let the people know who you are and all your social media handles.
How's it going? I'm a super senior at UMass Amherst. I just switched my major because I decided mathematics wasn't it, and I'm now taking up horticultural science. And now I'm doing this podcast as a hobby with my pops and my shorty. So, yeah, I'm a young Jamaican from Mass. Y'all get to know me during the podcast.
And
Watch you.
as she said earlier, Lash, let the people know who you are. Give them your social media handles and all of that young people stuff. Floor is yours.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Lashmi. Call me Lash, whatever. I actually just graduated from UMass Amherst. So yay to me. It was 4 long years. I'm currently, just looking, trying to get jobs, all that stuff. The struggle, like post-college. Let's see, a fun fact about me, I actually do acting. I'm involved in the entertainment industry. So yes, if you want to see more about me, you can follow me on Instagram. I think it's _Lashmi with 3 eyes at the end. My Twitter is the same except no underscore, so just Lashmi with 3 eyes. And yeah, I'm also coming out with a YouTube channel, possibly. I'm still it's still in the works. So yeah, I've been trying to do it, but I don't know what's stopping me.
I completely forgot about that stuff.
Your socials.
Yeah.
Your socials, little bully.
Yes. Oh, also TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to get popping on there. I'll find it because I actually don't know my handle for
that. Little bully, while she looks up her TikTok, you want to give the people your social handles?
Oh, okay. On my spare time, I also do play video games. When I do play video games, I tend to stream them now. Apex is the shit right now, and that's what I've been playing. I'm nice. I work with the bow. If you like some funny chat, nice gameplay, come give me a view. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. Little Bully 1. You'll see it in the description.
Yes, and my TikTok is Lashmi with 3 eyes, XO at the end.
Now, for the OG in the room, that is my nickname for this podcast. It is OG. And if you're wondering if I'm trying to be funny, I'm actually not. I am an old OG from New York, and there's a reason behind that name, OG. Okay? Story time. Before we get into the actual topic I want to discuss, my name, OG. There's a story behind that name. Okay? When I first came to Mass, right, my first job, like my first real job, because I was doing other dumb shit before I actually got this job here. And when I got this job, I walked in. This is word of no lie. Walked in, Chris. Like this job was just a shipping warehouse job, but I was dressed up to the T. I mean, I was looking like P. Diddy in a crisp linen suit, looking like I owned the joint. So I woke up in there, and there's the supervisor who interviewed me, and he told me this story. He said, when I walked in there, he said I was hired right on the spot. No questions asked. But here's the kicker. He said when him and I started speaking, we started talking, he was even more impressed. He's like, oh, it's a wrap. Now, he told me this story after I got hired, and I told him why I was dressed that way. Your grandmother, that old lady, she's a militant. When I was young, she always used to drill in my head when I started working, no matter what type of job you do, always go in dressed to impress. Because she told me that first impression will be a lasting impression. Circle back now to when I got that job. My supervisor told me I was the first person ever to come there dressed that way. Everybody who they ever interviewed walked in with some jeans and a t-shirt. And I looked at that man and I said, my mama seasoning raised me differently. So that's why I always tell you, no matter what job you interview for, dress to the max.
That's facts. That's really, even like my mom is Dominican. So, you know, Caribbean culture, I feel like, or just like, I'm not gonna say just Caribbean culture, but like they're raised on like dressing like to impress, like dress how you would want people to see you as. So like if someone sees you dressed, I guess like in sweats and something, even if it's like you're just having a bad day, like you never know, like someone else is gonna judge you, and you don't even know. Yeah, it's definitely important to.
Very important, myself.
Nice.
Lash called it out. Facts. And you know, that's where it ties in back to the OG. That supervisor, right? This is how they loved your father, man. They allowed me to play hip hop. Okay. They allowed me to play hip hop in the shipping room. So I used to always blast Biggie, the Locks, Little Kim. Yo, they had me playing all that rap music. So he decided, he's like, your nickname is gonna be OG. And it was for the music and because of my name. And I said, okay, I like that. That is pretty cool. OG. And it stuck with me. No matter where I worked, for some odd reason, everybody calls me OG.
Your initials.
Exactly, my dude. So that's awesome. Anyway, I want to talk about what it is to be a man. Because I feel in the United States of America, which I love dearly, it seems like they don't want us to be men anymore, especially Black men, Spanish men. They don't want us to be men anymore. Like the way I was raised, my son always calls me an old soul. It's because I was raised that way. Your grandmother seasoning and other people that entered my life told me how to maneuver, how to interact with people. So I've always had this thing about being a man. And being a man doesn't mean you're always right. Same thing about being a woman. We all make mistakes, but it's the way we carry ourselves as men. I don't see a lot of that anymore. I don't see strong masculine men anymore, especially the imagery they put on TV. Most of these men are feminine. So there is a man on YouTube that I follow. I want everybody to check him out. His channel is called Kwame Brown Bus Life. He was a former #1 overall draft pick in the NBA. Okay. And now he has a YouTube channel. And there was a particular episode on his YouTube channel that piqued my interest against a gentleman by the name of Mr. Hassan Campbell, who is from New York, like myself, who is a couple of years younger than me. But if you see this man, you would still think that he's stuck in a 14-year-old child's mind. The way he speaks, the way he carries himself, it's unbelievable. So him and Mr. Brown on YouTube have been going back and forth, but Mr. Brown has never mentioned this man's name. And all of a sudden, Mr. Campbell wants to call Kwame out and all types of stuff. All Mr. Kwame Brown is talking about is trades in school and coding. That's it. Oh, yeah, and he was beefing with some former NBA players, which was hilarious, man. That thing was so comical. You have to watch it. And now that he's blowing up on YouTube, here come the haters. Did you watch some of that video, Little Bully and Lash?
I actually don't believe I have.
Of Hassan in his car.
What we're going to watch, or listen to rather, because the listeners are going to listen to, we're going to listen to a little exchange between Kwame Brown and Mr. Hassan Campbell, right? Mr. Brown decided to do a live, and he called out Mr. Campbell, because Mr. Campbell sometimes be in Mr. Brown's chat, because Kwame Brown wanted to know, what did I do to you for you to be making videos about me disrespecting me?
He's making money. Wasn't he saying something about his super chats?
Yes. Pocket watching. I hate that shit. It's another thing I can't co-sign is the pocket watching. The men I grew up around never did that shit. They would actually call you out if you're watching some other man's pockets. And what Jamaicans would say, hey boy, I watch a man pocket for a rude boy. I don't watch a man money, man. What I'm to you. Meaning, don't watch another man how he's making his bread. Mind your business. Keep it moving. Do you?
Simple.
Simple. So here's a little bit of Mr. Kwame Brown calling out Mr. Hassan Campbell to speak.
And why was you at them high schools, boy? Nobody want to understand the true system. What about shit you don't know what you're talking about?
Your pains? Well, you got 40 to 60 million dollars for your pain.
I got 40
You
to
took
60
the
million.
oath for your pain. Yes.
So I took an oath for my pain. What the fuck are you talking about, boy? I took an oath because I played the game good enough that it got me signed, sealed, and delivered to the University of Florida by age 16. And I chose to go to the NBA because I had options that I created. I came in the same struggle as you, but I created options. I didn't use it as an excuse like you did. I didn't wear it as a badge of honor and try to play tough like you doing.
See, that right there, I never understood in the Black community, man. That shit just trips my mind out. It's like, for you to be a man, you got to go to jail. I'm like, nigga, what? No, to be a man is you do what he did. He had the skills to get out the hood to go play ball and go buy his mother a house on a golf course. If you can't do that, your goal as a man is to take care of your family, not go to goddamn prison. When you go to prison, you know, the white man's slave.
Yep.
For real. Now you hear that white man say, hey boy, number 5672, get up, boy. Time to go in the yard, boy. That's what you want to go to prison for, to be a man?
Can't eat what you want to eat. Can't sleep when you want to sleep.
Son, going to prison should never be glorified. If anything, an OG coming out of prison should be telling these kids, nerd up, get a job, do not go to prison.
Nerd up.
That makes sense.
Shout out to Styles P, man. That's Styles P saying. I'm not even going to take credit for that. He's an OG like me from New York. He's a rapper. Rather, he's an MC. That's his saying. Nerd up. Get a job, nigga. Because he been to jail. And he always preach about, don't go to jail. But this dude, Hassan Campbell, glorifies jail. Watch.
You're just a scared little boy that got taken advantage of, and you're trying to sound tough so you don't have to feel that feeling again.
Exactly.
And now you're trying to abuse because the abused become the abuser.
You heard that? Those
Yep.
are bars.
That is facts. Putting your trauma onto other people, more trauma.
Those are bars. The abuser become the abused.
Now, I would love for you to come talk about
Backwards.
your abuse and help these children instead of running your motherfucking mouth. There you go.
What up?
You tell me.
So I'm gonna pause it right here, and I want you to. Do you see the image of Mr. Campbell and Mr. Brown here? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell here is my age. Mr. Brown, he's 39. Look at that imagery right there. That right there tells. What's that old saying, little bully? A picture says what?
A what?
A
A
picture.
picture. What does it say? 1,000 words.
1,000 stories.
Yes.
1,000 stories. Thank you. Look at that, man.
So,
Look at that, man.
he's not even looking at him in the eye, Hassan.
No,
You can't tell us a Zoom meeting.
That's also true.
pay attention now to what's about to occur. This is very important. Why I say it's okay to be a man. All right, pay attention to what's about to go down.
You have the floor, sir. I never said your name. Why are you speaking about me as if you know me?
I want you to remember that part what he said right there. This is why I don't hang with niggas. That right there. I want you to listen to that part what he just said. Why are you speaking about me? You don't even know me, nigga. That gets people killed, my son.
Play
Now
it, play it.
watch.
I spoke about you because you spoke about me. When you mentioned my name, I mentioned you. When
When
I
was
set
this?
up it, when I made the video, and I said don't compare me to an NBA player. There
When
was
did, I,
no disres-
when did I mention your name?
You wasn't talking about me earlier when you took the shot.
Sir, you said Michael. I looked up to Michael Jordan. I was abused. You said something about me.
Listen. That was sarcasm. Matter of fact, what I'm
Sir,
gonna do
but
for you is
that wasn't
listen,
about me.
listen,
Let's be honest.
listen, hold on.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold up.
That wasn't about me.
Let's nip this in the bud. As a man, I'm gonna apologize as a man because the reality of it is you didn't do nothing to me. So to cut all the bullshit, as a man, you didn't do nothing to me. I stepped on your toes. I respect some of the things. First of all, let me say this, right? When I first started hearing about you, automatically, the first thing I said was Boule. I didn't do my homework. I didn't look to see whether you was a credible dude, what your fight was. Later on, I seen the Judge Joe Brown joint, which I thought was dope or whatever the case may be. But just to give you who I am, when it comes to anybody that comes from Hollywood, the music industry, any of that, I look at everybody sideways.
I'm gonna pause it right there for a reason, and I want to touch up on that, and I want to hear y'all thoughts. This again boggles my mind, little bully and Lash. I don't understand how when you're Spanish, you're black, you make it in the entertainment industry, all of a sudden you're a sellout because you made it. You have some type of talent and you made it, and all of a sudden you're a sellout. But if you sling drugs and murder somebody and go to jail, oh, you real. What kind of backward ass thinking is that? Little bully, your thoughts.
People are stuck in poverty. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with Latrell, like honestly. I feel like when you've been in like a situation for so long and then all of a sudden you see like change, it can be kind of scary. So like to see someone that came from where you came from do something like different, it's kind of like, whoa, like what is that? I feel like it's just different. So like maybe it could just be like them seeing change.
People just hating on you because they ain't got it.
Right,
And
like
you
that
do.
too. Having
Man,
of themselves.
Man, have you guys ever watched this show called The Wire?
Nah, I
No,
haven't.
the wire.
I want you to watch that show. There's a dude name on that show named Omar. I went to school with this brother. He's my friend on Facebook.
I got the same name.
No, in the show, his name was Omar. I'm not going to give out his real name.
Okay, I think you told me about him before.
I went to school with this brother. Everybody from the hood is happy for him. Nobody on Facebook talks bad about him. We're all happy because we know him. And we know the struggle he came from to make it to where he is. So we celebrate this dude. So that's why I don't understand the hate of when successful minorities who come from the hood go to Hollywood or go to play some sports, they make it. All of a sudden, they have to do some crazy thing. Man, I watch behavior. That's what I judge people on, is their damn behavior. Not if they are an NBA player, a football player, basketball player, a movie actress, actor, whatever. It's behavior.
Not
We
their
shall
title, their action.
Facts. We shall continue.
So I prejudged you according to that. But as far as who you are and what you're doing right now, your message, some of the things that I've caught up on and I listen to, I respect your message as a man. So,
but sir, you didn't say that about 30, 40 minutes ago.
what I said was not said 30, 40 minutes ago. What I said was a response to the indirect that what you said about me on earlier today.
But listen, bro, you've said something about me indirectly in 3, maybe 4. Even when you spoke about me the first time, when somebody asked you, what do you think about Kwame Brown? You said, I like him, but, and then you went on to talk about all this stuff. And even today, you talked about an oath. And I'm telling you that anytime you go to prison, you sign an oath. You sign an oath to be a slave for white boys. And that mentality that you're preaching, and you going back to the hood as a married man with jewelry and chains on, are you prepared to kill someone? Because that's what you would have to do to be in the hood by yourself. So
I'm going to pause it right there. What he just said is so true. As an OG, there are rules to the streets, no matter who you are. Little Bully, you remember that picture that I showed you when I was a senior in North? Remember that picture where I had all that jewelry on?
The one that I found? You ain't show me
Yes.
that.
Oh,
I
that's
found.
right. The one you found. My bad. The one you found. You remember that picture? How I was dressed? With all
Yeah.
the jewelry and all the madness on? Do you know that I only did that because I knew at North nobody could touch me? That was the only reason why I wore all that jewelry, because I knew nobody could touch me, because I was running with the Jamaican cats out here. So nobody can touch me. But do you know, when I was around those Jamaican cats, I could not wear no piece of jewelry, no gold teeth, no big chains, rings, bracelets, all that crap, earrings. I could not wear none of that stuff around them. Do you know why?
They try to take that shit? I don't know.
No, because, well, 2 things. One, I will make them hot. So that was a no-no.
Okay.
2, I'm food in the hood. Why would I make my food? Why would I make myself food in the hood when niggas is starving already? So that means somebody approach me, there's 1 or 2 things that's gonna go down. Either I'm gonna have to give up my jewels, or I'm gonna have to probably end this person's life. So there are rules to the game. Even back in Brooklyn, I was not wearing my jewelry like that in the hood. Are you insane? And that was my hood. That was my stomping grounds, where I was good with everybody. And I still would not wear my jewelry in the hood. We shall continue.
So to speak the way that you're speaking, how old are you, sir?
44.
You're 44 years old with children, beautiful children, may I add.
Thank
And
you.
I've seen you put them on the internet. You have a wife. You have a beautiful yard with flowers and dogs, which you should be enjoying. But you steady going back to the hood to prove what? What you would have to do to protect those chains and to protect the thing, to brag about being in the hood. If somebody approached you, you would have to kill that person or hurt that person. Is that correct?
I don't see your point.
Did you just hear that? Did you just hear what Mr. Campbell said? I don't see your point. That means what Mr. Brown just told him went through one ear, right out the other. Little Bully, did you hear what he was trying to tell this man?
Say one more time.
You want me to play it one more time?
It comes to anybody that comes from Hollywood, the music industry. This conversation shouldn't really be based on whether I'm going back to the hood or not.
But
It's
it's the way that it's the way
conversation.
that you're going to the hood, though. You
The
going to the
conversation-
hood with chains on.
The
You going to the
conversation.
hood saying, "Yeah, I can go to my hood. I can do this. I can do that." That's braggadocious.
Right.
Let me
And-
explain
And
something,
you
right?
would have to hurt the person that come up to you in the hood. You a real street cat, right? So you know there's rules and regulation to the hood. You don't make yourself look like food in the hood. I can't be in a blood neighborhood wearing blue. There's rules and regulations to the street, and you going.
Exactly. There are rules and regulations to the streets, regardless of who you are. Because there's always a wolf waiting to get somebody to eat, regardless of who you are. And in the hood, what cats do, they'll wait for you to be slipping. They will watch you, observe you, and wait for you to let your guard down to get you. So he's absolutely correct. There's rules and regulations, regardless of who you are. Unless you're around 30 niggas.
Yeah, that's rare.
That's crazy.
Nowadays.
going back to your hood while you're a grown ass man with children. And if you're in the hood with that many flowers, that's a nice ass hood. With that fish tank and that nice stuff you got, if that's the hood, you in
No,
a
that's
nice
not the
ass
hood. That's
Okay,
not
so
the hood.
I'm talking about where your family is. That's where you should stay. Because what you would have to do in order to brag like that with chains on, you would have to hurt someone, which would take you
Hold
away
up.
from your family.
Hold up for a second. Give me. I'm trying to figure out. So you basically talking to me about me going to the hood with chains on. I think that you way too articulate as a man. You're way too smart as a man to be talking about whether I'm going. Our conversation shouldn't be based off of whether I'm going back to the hood with chains on.
That's
I
not
don't-
what
I don't
it's
get
based
that.
off. That's okay. Let me explain.
And like I
I'm-
said, as a man,
Hold on,
I
no, let me
apologize
explain.
to you. I apologize to you
at that
as a
jewelry.
man.
I understand the apology, but look, hold your wrist up. Hold your wrist up. That right there makes you a target in the hood. And what
You know what
said,
makes me hold up. You know what
hold up,
makes
but
me a
what you
target in the
said
hood?
also makes you a
Hold
target.
up, hold up. You know what makes me a target in the hood? Because I hear you breaking down like I'm glorified going to jail. But do you realize that I got beef with every major rapper because I talk about the poison that they spew out from speakers? Do you realize when I go down to Harlem, I got beef with damn near everybody down there? Damn near every gang I speak out against, every gang. How you say gang gang? I speak out against all that shit. All of that. Everything that's going on in the hood with all these young boys killing each other, these parents sitting up in the park drinking Hennessy while their kids are shooting up the block. I've been speaking about all that. So my whole thing is, me personally, like I said, if your message, which I respect the fact that you got in Charlemagne's ass, I respect it. I don't rock with that, man. I don't rock with nobody that take pussy. Nobody. But at the end of the day, I stirred this pot up. So as a man, I could apologize and say, you know what? I came at the brother first. Because I was raised. But my whole thing is like, I mean, if we're going to build, I'm not really building about whether I'm going to be in the hood with jury, because
Keep
I'm going to be in the
watching.
hood with jury.
Okay,
Whether
so
I feel
that's what I'm saying. Let's expound on that though. You
Now, exactly what Mr. Brown said. Let's expound on that. I want y'all to pay attention because this is where the part where I'm getting to around what it is to be a man, that it's okay to be a man. Mr. Campbell over here thinks in his mind, by him just saying the words, I apologize.
As a
He-
man.
As a man, he thinks that everything is all gravy. No, because I'm going to keep it real with you, Little Bully and Lash. If somebody apologizes to me, I can tell if that apology is genuine or if they're just saying it just to fucking say it.
I can
And
never.
and
Unless-
I can see by Mr. Campbell's body language, and y'all are gonna see a little bit later on, that he's full of shit. He never meant an apology. He's coming at a different angle, and Mr. Brown sees the angle, and he's gonna expound on it, man. He's gonna talk about it. So let's continue.
apology action after.
Is
your
it not true that if somebody run up on you by yourself with jury on, what would you have to do to that person? So
If
you're
somebody ran up to me,
participating in that.
if somebody ran up to me while I got my jury on, and they tried to take my jury, it's gonna be an all-out war.
So why put yourself in that situation at 44 with flowers, a fish tank, kids, and a wife?
Why put myself in that situation?
Yes, sir.
Did you ask them rappers why they put themselves in that situation?
Yes, sir, I did. I said that earlier today. I said some of these rappers, a lot of these rappers should not even have friends because all they do is get the people around them killed by their mouth and get the people around them arrested because they talk tough and they get kids from these neighborhoods like me and you are from that don't know trades and don't know skills, but they know how to harm people and they don't know the results of and the consequences of what happened.
Pause right there. You see what he just said about them rappers? I've been saying that for years. I'm like, yo, some of you dudes don't need to be around niggas because all you do is get your peoples killed or in jail because you talk so dirty. And when you talk greasy like that, you bring around negative energy. And when you bring negative energy, you got to have shooters around.
Right, this old ass man over here telling me he has beef with a whole bunch of gangs for what? Old ass man, 44. No offense to you.
Thank you. No offense taken. That is my point, my son. I want you and Lash to see that and look at me and look at him. And now you're saying the exact thing. Like, why is this old ass man beefing with gangs and rappers and shit? I can tell you why. He's what you call a gossip blogger. He doesn't realize it, but that's what he is. He's a gossip blogger. He's Charlemagne the God. He's Wendy Williams. That's who he is. He does shock value videos. He's a gossip blogger. But we shall continue.
15, 16 years old, these boys are killers. And they're doing it at the direction of bad OGs and bad pussy ass rappers.
OG.
And I'm saying the things that you're saying and the glorification of going to prison, you started speaking about men
Hold up.
in jail.
You hold up.
This is my opinion. Hold on.
You
Let me
got
say
no,
my
but
opinion.
you got my
can't
message.
argue an opinion. You cannot argue an opinion. This is my opinion. And then when
You took what I had to say the wrong way.
okay, it can't be the wrong way if it's an opinion. We got to get people to understand what an opinion means. This is not based in fact. This is my opinion based.
Before I let him continue, that is so true. That's why I always tell people this is my opinion. It's not based in facts. It's just an opinion.
based on what I heard you say. So let me get it out. My opinion, and I took it this way, so therefore other people can take it this way. You talked about gangsters, and you said it in a way that made it look like you was glorifying being in jail, being around other dudes that was in jail and got busy, because you said there was no names behind me. So what does that tell young youth? That they need to be, don't be the guy who went to the NBA and became a basketball player, because that's success. Whether I scored 6 point, 1 point, my mama was on a golf course. Don't be the guy that put your mama on the golf course. Be the guy that go to prison and have your mama send them some money. Is that what you're telling the youth?
Hell no, that's not what that's how you took what I said. But
So how
that's
did
not
you
what I
mean
was
it?
saying.
Okay, go ahead.
That's absolutely not what I was saying.
You got the
What
floor.
I was
Tell me what
saying,
you
all right. So what I was saying, just to make it clear, right? What I was saying is when I say don't compare me, like for example, I also mentioned
This guy's a clown, man. I don't want to hear him talk anymore.
Like also,
He's a clown, man, and I hate to say that because he's a
like
fellow
Kane
New
is-
Yorker.
He doesn't argue what he was arguing. He went back on his
Yeah.
word before. Talking about Kwame said something first, and he was like, "Actually, no, I apologize. As a man, it was me." Like, what?
Yeah, like what? Like, what are you apologizing for? Why did you even call his name out in the first place? All Kwame Brown talks about on some real talk is trades and coding in school for kids. That's it. And you know, he roasts people like this clown right here and other people. Because he's just like me and you. He's just like me and you, man. He watches YouTube. And so he comments on shit. And this was a perfect example of, you know, that it's okay to be a man. If Mr. Campbell was a real man, he would have said, you know what, brother? I effed up. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to take down that video that I made to show you that my apology is genuine, because he's making money off those videos. So how you apologizing and those videos are still up?
Sure,
That's
it's a fake apology.
Right. It's a fake apology. So as a man,
After your words,
exactly, my son.
not just the words.
So as a man, I have the right to reject your apology because that's not genuine, man. Saying sorry doesn't mean anything.
Sorry,
Right.
it don't mean shit.
It don't mean shit. Facts.
I feel like in his situation, he's just saying sorry so that
People get off his back.
right, so everyone can just shut up. But it's
It's like a
honestly-
manipulative thing. He's like, I said sorry. What more do you want?
Right.
Smith's such a child.
But him being in the spotlight, obviously, if you're gonna be in the spotlight like that, you can't go back on your word flip flopping, because then again, people are gonna get on your back.
Do you know people was on Kwame's back because he didn't accept Hassan's apology? Because Hassan goes on an absolute tirade. You're seeing him calm right now. This man goes on an absolute tirade. And I'm like, yo, my guy, didn't you just apologize to this man? And now your true colors are coming out. His true colors came out and everybody was like, Mr. Brown was wrong. You should have just accepted it and move on. But Mr. Brown wanted to know why. How did we get to this point right here where you're making videos about me disrespecting me? How did we get here? Because in where I grew up in Brooklyn, that's how a lot of dudes lost their lives. Over foolishness. Hey, look, man.
Large vocabulary. I just want to let you know that for a second.
What?
You. I
What?
don't know where you get your vocabulary from, but
Tirade.
yeah.
Looked up the word tirade.
I was like, what the fuck is a tirade?
I had a feeling it
When
meant
you go
I looked it up.
crazy.
It's an outspoken
Yeah.
speech of bitterness, basically.
Yes. You just start ranting and going cuckoo. It's like, for what, my dude? Little bully fact checked me on tirade. I love you, my son.
I was like, yo, what the fuck is that?
I
That's what I don't know. I'm surprised.
had a
This
feeling.
is your old man getting on his soapbox, man. This is why I mess with Kwame Brown. I mess with his message, man. Do I agree with everything he says all the time? No, but I agree with a majority of the things that he say. Because I'm an old soul, and Mr. Brown has an old soul. He was raised by the elders, man. He had OGs around him, and he was smart enough. He had people around him to make sure he didn't go down a certain path. Because a lot of his brothers went to prison for selling drugs. So a lot of the OGs around him made sure he stuck to the basketball thing.
And Hassan goes back to his old hood all jeweled up. Oh,
Yes,
That's stupid.
That's
I can tell you why.
Honestly, I don't see a point in that much jewelry when you're old. You know what I'm saying? Okay, a necklace, okay, like a watch. Like, you don't need a fucking bracelet. You know what I'm saying? You don't need any of that shit. If you're gonna go back to your hood, go donate some new sports equipment to your old high school or something.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
talk
you.
to the kids about something that's actually gonna help them. Not,
Right. Go do something for your old high school city program
Right.
for the kids. Go
Thank
pay
you.
for their next field trip.
Facts.
Like, what the fuck?
I can tell you why he goes back to the hood. You can tell when Mr. Campbell was young, he didn't have nothing because he used to rob drug dealers and all of that stuff. So he didn't have none. I think right now he's living out, he's going through what I call a midlife crisis. He's living out his childhood fantasy of being a rapper. So the very thing that he hates, he always wanted to be. He always wanted to be that dude with the jewelry and all. Think about it a little bit.
Envy.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me right now. You saw me wearing all of that jewelry. And you look at me now, you even asked me, how come you was like, Dad, how come you don't wear that jewelry stuff? I'm like, nigga, are you insane? I'm old.
No, at least earrings. Like earrings are okay. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm good with all of that. You know why I'm good with all of that? Because I done that.
Man, you can still wear some earrings. You know,
No, I'm
little
good.
bit.
No, I'm good. I did all of that. I lived out my little wildness. Mr. Campbell never did. So he's still he's in a midlife crisis, man. He's stuck in his childhood. He always wanted to be that rapper with the jewelry.
Leave it alone.
And now he got that YouTube bread. Now he's living out his fantasy. So I peeped that real quick. I'm like, oh, this nigga never had shit. Now he got something. Now he's living out his fantasy. That's why he can't adjust to being a grown man. He's in a midlife crisis. That's what nobody ever called out. Everybody said he's crazy. I'm like, nah, this nigga ain't crazy. He's in a midlife crisis, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. He has a wife and kids.
Yeah, but he's in a mid. Think about it. When you never had money the way he has money now and was watching TV, remember I told you, imagery is everything. When you watching all, because back in the day, you would have to watch rap videos on like BET and MTV and all of that shit. And you see all these niggas with their jewelry and women and cars, and you don't got none of that. But now he's making that YouTube bread. So now he's living out his fantasy. That's why I find him very entertaining and sad at the same time, because I get it. I'm like, my nigga, you in a midlife crisis. You're gonna grow out of this eventually. You're gonna see that you made yourself a cartoon character.
I hope so.
I feel that happens to a lot of people.
I don't understand why he's having.
A lot of
beef.
videos.
Oh, I didn't interrupt you. I had to think about what I said to this brother. I had to think about, was I malicious or did I do anything wrong? And all the check boxes said no. So my thing is this. It's interesting every time I hear a hood dude talk about industry and make it seem like success means you sold out, when we glorify the dudes in the hood that got bodies.
Didn't I say that earlier?
Yeah.
Didn't I say that earlier? That shit boggles my mind, dude. I can't wrap my head around it. I respect dudes who are on the street that had to do certain things. I respect it. I understood it, but I hells to don't glorify it. I'm like, nigga, why didn't you nerd up and get a job?
Right?
But I understand, you know, where I come from, I get it. I understand. And those dudes that I was around that did street shit, they will always preach to you, don't be like them. They will always preach that. So I don't know how somewhere down the line that got lost, especially with your generation, little boo.
I feel like it's just like, again, glorified, especially on social media. Like our generation is so like obsessed with social media. So like seeing like rappers like wear their chains, or even like girls, for example, like getting their breasts and their butt done. Like seeing that, it's like, oh my gosh, like I want to be like that. But in reality, you don't really know what's happening. Like a picture is not like their whole life. A picture is not like everyone's whole life. You know what I mean? Like just because someone posts on Instagram that they have all this jewelry, like who knows? Maybe they use their last paycheck to buy all
Yeah,
that.
facts. That shit can be rented
Right.
all the time. People go down to Florida all
Or
the time
rent
and
it,
rent
right?
these luxury cars. So like,
Or
Yeah.
fake.
It's really
You see what Lash said about pictures? That picture when you saw me at North with all that jewelry on, I look happy, don't I? Don't I look happy in that picture?
yes.
yeah.
I was fucking miserable as a motherfucker. You had no idea I was going through PTSD because of your uncle's death. Your Uncle Elvan's death. That's why I was at North. My school counselor called your grandmother and told them to take me out of school and to take me out of the state. So that picture you see me smiling and posing, I hated niggas. I hated people. I was so angry. I wasn't even focusing on school. I hated school too. I hated everything. So that picture, like Lash said, yeah, I look happy in that picture, but I sure the hell wasn't. I was miserable as hell, man. Going through PTSD, and nobody even knew. Nobody knew.
Facts, mad young experiencing death like that.
Right.
It's not okay.
Nobody knew. At least my school did. Like, shout out to my school, John Jay High School, man. Shout out to them, man. They really cared about me. They told my mother, get this boy out of the state. Because they saw where I was heading. I had evilness in my heart and my eyes. This is like, get this young boy out of the state. My mother panicked. Called Auntie Junie. And I came up here to mass and I was so angry. That's why all I drew. I was like, I want a nigga to touch me so I can kill this motherfucker. That was my mindset, man.
Yo, what the fuck?
I was like, let a nigga touch me. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. That was my mindset because L was gone and I was so upset and hurt. So I was always had a screw face on when I would ride that goddamn cheese bus. Yo, what's up with that? Sidebar for a minute.
Said cheese bus.
Sidebar. What the hell is this cheese bus in Mass, bro? In New York, I took a school, not a school. I took a city bus and the city train to go to school. I come out here to Mass. I'm in a cheese bus. I only seen that shit on TV. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Niggas got to take a cheese bus? What the fuck? I ain't going in that thing.
Why?
Niggas a cheese bus. Fuck
That's
going on
not
a
a
cheese
reason.
bus. You can take the city bus to school, and I guess that wasn't the thing back in those days. I know now you can, but back then,
School buses are publicly funded, but there were requirements to get on them shits. But you can always sneak on if you was nice.
bro.
At least when I was growing up.
Yo, and the crazy thing is, if you miss that cheese bus, you gotta walk home.
Yeah.
That shit is okay. Quick story, real
Yeah,
quick.
be like that.
Quick story, real quick. So I'm at North, right? Mind you, I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules of the school. I'm a new dude in the school from Brooklyn. I don't know the rules. Okay, in Brooklyn, right? Back in those days when you used to go in high school, when the bell rang, you used to lollygag a little bit, go to class late a little bit. Teachers didn't like it, but no big deal. They don't do detention in New York. At least back in those days, they didn't do detention in New York when I went to school. But out here in Mass,
Yeah.
I'm at North.
On that ass.
I'm at motherfucking what they called it? They called it study hall.
Yep.
First of all, I didn't even know what the fuck study hall was. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why am I not in class? They're like, oh, Mr. Green, you got a lot of credits. You got enough credits. So they gave me like 3 study hall classes. So I was like, okay, you don't do shit in there. So I go in there late. I went to all my study halls late. I like, this shit ain't no real class. Yo, the teacher reported me to the principal. Principal calls me in. No. The teacher tells me I'm on detention. I'm like, detention? What the fuck is that? Oh, you got to stay after school. I'm like, wait. I got to stay after
It's
school.
fucking stupid. It's
It is
dead ass
stupid.
like jail for no reason. It's stupid.
I didn't understand it, but I'm like, what about the bus? Because I take the cheese bus. I ain't tell him that, but in my head, I'm like, I take the cheese bus. And he was like, well, you're just going to have to walk home. I'm like,
They
"Nigga,
don't
you
care. I'm telling you, they don't give a fuck.
They really do not.
Not a
care.
single fuck.
You remember the old North? It's up that goddamn hill. I'm like, nigga, you bugging. And your auntie Junie lived over by the Jamaican spot, the restaurant. So you see that walk? You see the walk I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Nigga, that's a long walk. I'm like, oh, this man is on drugs. So I don't know the rules. So I went to the principal. I went right to the principal, nigga, like a boss, nigga. With all my jewelry on, I went right to the principal office. Fuck your secretary. Fuck everybody in here. I want to see the man in charge. So the principal saw me. And I said, hey, I'm new to the school. I don't understand your rules. This teacher in the study hall is talking about giving me detention because I was late. And now I got to walk home. So the principal looked at me. He's like, yeah, those are the rules. But since you're new, we'll overlook it. You don't have to do detention. I was like, oh my.
Late to study hall, you get a detention? No, that was
Nope.
wild. I just wouldn't go, to be honest. Like, you'd have to expel me. I wouldn't go.
Nah, I went to the principal. Something and the principal chopped it up. He looked out for a nigga. I was like, yeah, my man, thank you. Yo, after that, I didn't go to study hall late because I understood the rules. Like one thing about your old man, it only takes me one time to learn a lesson. So once I knew I couldn't go to study hall late, like shit is different here. It's not like New York. I can't lollygag. I was on my point because I'm not trying to do detention, nigga. I ain't trying to walk.
Nah, I feel like it was more strict when you was in school, or I just got away with stuff.
I know in New York, I got away with stuff. Not out here in Mass. These motherfuckers were strict. In New York, I got away. Why you think my grades were so bad when you saw my transcript? Because you saw from my freshman year, my grades just got worse. You saw,
Yeah, you know, your ass, but it's okay. It's just school.
Usually the arrow goes up, right? In the beginning, for me, the arrow was like going up and then it just dropped. Sophomore, junior, senior. I just started going down. But a lot of that was I lost little bully's uncle, so my mind wasn't focused on school, man. But anyway, that was, you know, my little thing with Mr. Kwame Brown and Mr. Campbell. I don't want to watch or hear any of it because Mr. Campbell goes on a tirade and starts cursing out Mr. Brown and talking about his mother and then saying F you to the chat and all types of shit. He starts spazzing.
Why have to bring his mother into it though?
He's a child in a grown man's body, so he's not a
That's
man.
what my son said.
He's not a man. Yeah, that's disrespectful.
So yeah, man, for me, to be a man is just to carry yourself accordingly. You know, when my son, remember the day you called me and you wanted my thoughts on you moving out? What did I say to you that day when you called me, nigga?
You gotta cut it.
Exactly. I was waiting for that phone call, to be honest with you. I was waiting patiently for that phone call. Because in my mind, I'm like, when is this little ass nigga gonna move out of the house? Because you're so much like me. You're very independent. You're a free spirit, free thinker. So I'm like, why is this nigga under this roof?
I mean, I would have stayed longer, but I don't deal with rules, bro. If I'm paying money, I'm not dealing with rules.
I know. So that day when you called me and you wanted your old man thoughts about, you know, spreading your wings, I was like, hell yeah, nigga, about goddamn time. I was like, it's about time. I've been waiting for this call. So I just gave you my 2 cents. And one thing about me and you is, I don't know. I never believed in, because your grandmother, you know, treated me the same way. I never believed in just telling your ass what to do. I just believe in, here are my thoughts. You do what you want with these thoughts. If I do see you doing dumb shit, though, I will try to pull you away from dumb shit. Like, nigga, that's some dumb shit. Because people do that for me. People do that for me. So when you called me and told me what you wanted to do, I was like, hell yeah, dude. I said, go spread your wings, man. But and it was so funny because he was like, how is this so easy for you? And I told you why it was easy for me, dude.
Well, I did not say that. What are you talking about?
No, you was like, how come me and your mother are different? And how we approach you on certain things. And I told you the reason why.
I don't think I asked that, but
you did, because you said your mother don't see the things the way I see it. And I said, because you're her baby. For me, you're not my baby.
I think it was just that certain situation.
Yeah, just that certain situation. But for me, you're not my baby. The day I dropped you off at Head Start and I saw what you did at Head Start, dude, I cut that umbilical cord right there. I was like, this dude is not a baby no more. And I just started talking to you instead.
Not a baby as I'm a baby.
I just decided I'm just going to talk to you instead. I'm not going to treat you like a baby. I'm just going to talk to you the way your grandmother treated me. Your grandmother always talked to me. She never treated me like a baby. She never, always kept shit real with me. Always let me know what was the deal.
So I figured, talk to kids, so they learn and turn into adults or men in that instance.
So I figured with you out, but see, with your brother, I couldn't treat him like that. I couldn't just talk to him because that didn't work. You see how Mr. Campbell is acting? That's how your brother would act with me when I talk to him. We'll go through one ear right out the other. But with you, I will tell you something, you listen. With your brother, he didn't listen.
People learn differently.
I know, so I had to be aggressive with him, and I didn't want to be that way because that's not my personality. But with him, I was like, okay, I gotta move different with this dude. I love your brother, man. Shout out to Pete.
There you go. True.
But yeah, that's Mr. Kwame Brown. Y'all go check out his channel. It's called Kwame Brown Bust for Life. He has a lot of funny ass YouTube videos. He's very funny, man. He can be a stand-up comedian. Like, he's very funny. Like, I'll be trying to send you his little 10-minute clips when he's just roasting people. He reminds me of Dave Chappelle so much, man. He's so funny. He's just naturally funny.
That's your favorite person right now. I know. That's all who you've been talking about.
Who, Kwame?
Kwame Brown. You gotta watch this. Watch this Kwame Brown.
Because he's funny. Yo, the dude is entertaining, but he drops you gems at the same time. That takes talent, my son. It takes a skill to drop gems while you're speaking facts and being funny at the same time. You know, us black folks, Spanish folks, son, we love a little comedy in our shit.
A lot.
A lot.
Life would be depressing without it.
Yo, facts. For real. So
this podcast is titled "It's Okay to Be a Man," right?
Yes, sir.
Then I feel like each of us, as a woman, as a young man, and as an older man, should give our definitions of what we think a man really is. You want to start?
Well, who, me?
What is a man truly to you?
A man, to me, is a provider, is a best friend, is a person who does for his community, is a person who will see somebody doing something wrong, but say, hey, maybe you want to try this. You know, when you're wrong, to genuinely apologize when you're wrong. You know, don't fake it. And also, you don't have to be so aggressive if somebody approaches you on some criticism. Your natural instinct shouldn't always be to put your hands up. Sometimes just listen. Also, it's okay to cry.
My friend.
It's okay to cry. Some men think that crying makes you weak. That is foolishness. If you don't cry, son, you're going to build up anger in your chest and you're going to release that anger a different way. So sometimes cry. I've cried a lot. I cried over Elvon. I've cried over Sleeps, my man Jamel. I cried over them. Those are my two best friends, my brothers. Every year on my birthday, I cry all the time because I miss them dudes. But then I move on. So It's okay to cry, man. And it's okay to apologize when you genuinely mean to apologize. So that's my definition of a man. Standing up tall and erect.
I think that's a good definition. What about you, Lashmi?
Well, yeah, that was a great definition, first of all. I feel like a man is someone that, first of all, respects themselves and other people. You know, we're all human. We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you admit to those mistakes and you learn from those mistakes. That's like very important. And I feel like a man is also someone that, you know, should take responsibility as an adult. You know, we're not always going to be children. You have to learn. Children have to learn from men and from women too, like, you know, how to live in a responsible, respectable way.
Bars, ladies and gentlemen, that was bars.
Right.
Go ahead, little boo.
Yeah, what's yours?
I think a man is somebody who makes sure his business is handled. A man who doesn't just say something, but a man is someone who acts beyond his words. They're always going to do what they'll say they do. A man is usually punctual. in my opinion. So I like to be on time to places where I say I'm going to be. It's the same thing with a job. You don't like to be late. A man is punctual. You don't be late. Always early, never late.
True words.
Man is somebody who knows how to communicate with other human beings, regardless of who they are, what they are, what differences they may have. Keeps an open mind to everybody who's around him. A man to his woman is a man who will take care of his woman, who will listen to his woman's emotions and handle her both physically and emotionally.
My son, you know what you sound like?
What?
An old soul. The same shit you be teasing me about, my dude. You sound like an old soul, my son. Who raised you, nigga?
You and my mom's.
My son, that was beautiful. You sound like an old soul. I'm proud of you.
Yes, preach.
I am very proud of you, man. I don't tell you that enough. I'm very proud of you. I just observe you. I feel like, I think you know I'm proud of you, but you should still hear it. That I'm very proud of you, man.
Thanks.
You're growing up.
That's something that's very important to like mention, like saying things out loud. You could say, like, you can think, oh, like we were saying, my son is grown, like, you know, he's very like a respectable man, but saying that out loud, saying things out loud, like, I'm proud of you, like, I feel like that helps everyone
Yes.
feel
That's
good
part
about
of
themselves.
fathering. That's nurturing your children's
Right.
emotions.
Well, because some people
Yes.
don't do that. I feel like some parents don't really do that. They don't say I'm proud of you. Like, a simple I'm proud of you can really change someone's like whole like.
Parents, listen in.
So a lot of kids tend to act out because they're looking for attention and parent
Yes.
recognition.
Recognition of like just even
They're
the
acting out.
simplest.
Put them into something that you'd be proud of them for doing, and then tell them you're proud, and then they'll keep doing it.
Or if it's something that they
They're
wanna
people.
do, yeah.
They're just people. They're just like you, regardless the age. They're another fucking person. They're not just your plaything. It's a child. It's a
Right.
person. You
Do
decide
you
to
hear
bring
that?
the world. You got to take care of it.
Mhm.
That's your choice. He don't want to be here. This place sucks. You got to provide the best upbringing you possibly can.
Yes.
Facts.
Nothing.
Parents, listen, because these are gems being told by the young generation. You see what y'all just said right there? That's always my philosophy as a parent. I'm like, I don't, hey, look, I love your grandmother. I love her to death. I love you, mommy. You know I do. But you was never into any of the shit I did. And I understood why. There's no hate, trust. I got it what you had to do. You had to make sure food was on the table, so you was too busy. But with Latrell, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to try to be in this dude's life somehow. So I need to stay connected to this dude. I don't ever want to be that parent that's fucking old and don't know shit that was going on. So I was like, you know what? All this social media shit. I was always keeping an eye on technology anyway, because sidebar, I'm a little nerd. So I was like, okay, I got a connection with my son with gaming because I put him onto that. That's my little hobby. And then, music, he be trying to, put me onto the new shit. I don't like that new shit. These niggas all sound the same. But then he tried to get me to listen to some other new artists. I'm like, I like those dudes. So like, he's trying to get me into anime. I don't really fuck with anime. I did when I was
It's
young.
fire.
But the TV shows, the Netflix, the TV shows, he be putting me on. He put me on to a lot of good TV shows. And speaking of that, that is a
Netflix back in like 2012, 2011.
And I wasn't really rocking with it. My mind wasn't really a TV
I
guy.
was putting people on. I'm like, yo, fuck cable. These commercials suck. I'm
Yes.
like, yo, let's get some Netflix. She said no. So I took my allowance. I said yes.
That's why I love you, dude.
Yes.
Fucking go getter. He never waits on anybody for shit.
It's annoying as fuck.
No, you was right about Netflix and the TV shows because you got your old man
Right.
hooked. Now I'm hooked to that.
Now
shit.
imagine if I could have done stocks. I would have been fucking rich.
Yo, for real. For real.
I was hit mad young. I was like, this shit's mad convenient.
Yes, because you already saw the future coming. You saw the convenience, like fuck blockbusters. Go to Netflix.
Yeah, they used to do the CD things back then. I
Yeah.
remember that shit. I was like, CD, fuck it, I'm streaming this bitch.
Yep.
We gotta upgrade the internet. This shit too slow.
Yes. That wasn't your internet, by the way. It was a Netflix has to pay for the bandwidth for their service. And at that time, remember the internet was new, so the bargaining wasn't really there yet. So the internet providers didn't want to give up that bandwidth because it cost them a lot of money. So Netflix figured out how to open up a specific lane for them in the bandwidth, so that way you don't get that circle of death, even if you have a slow ass internet speed. So that was the issue, was these streaming companies had to figure out how to deal with the fucking cable companies to open up the bandwidth.
Yep. And then later on, Netflix decided to say, hey, fuck all these Hollywood productions. Let's do our own.
Yes. Yes.
was-
That's the reason why I really love Netflix. You put me onto that again.
They're
Original
their own
content.
production now. It's its own Hollywood. It's lovely. Quality shows and movies. Some misses, mainly hits, in my opinion. Different languages too, different cultures.
Yes.
Netflix is real good about that. I don't know how we ended up on this topic, but yeah, Netflix is fire.
Hey, because I told you I wanted to talk about TV shows, and Netflix was the perfect segue. Lash, you know why I love Netflix? Because I'm not your average movie viewer or TV show viewer, because I love the arts. I love music. Like, I love music and the arts. I am into the damn script. My son, don't I always tell you the script was fire?
No, this writing is trash.
This right, exactly. He knows me. The writing is trash. I'm like, who wrote this shit?
Let's eat. Can you get some food?
I'm like, who wrote this crap? So yes, I look at the writing, I look at the acting, I look at the context of whatever the story, the plot is about. I look at all of it. I just don't watch it. I look at everything. I pay close attention. And same thing with music. I listen to the beat, the lyrics. Does the beat match the lyrics, and does the lyrics match the beat?
Yeah.
So I listen to the melody, I listen to the hook, I listen to everything. I listen to the DJ, everything. I have a keen ear for the arts. I love the arts. I'm a nerd for arts. So I'm not your average viewer. So that's why I love Netflix. But with that being said, what are you guys watching on Netflix right now? What are y'all watching right now?
I just finished season 2 of Outer Banks. That shit was fire. Again, it's like see, I like watching movies and TV shows because I get that same like euphoria as if I'm doing those events myself. And it's kind of like in this like Southern America setting where these group of kids, these friends, they're called Pogues. They're like the poorer kids, and they go on basically treasure hunts and find lost treasure, and it's like connected to their family, and it's actually well written. Like it makes sense. It's just coming out of nowhere. Where did this gold come from? It's like, oh, they found a mystery here and it leads to this one. And it's like,
wait a minute, what's that show's name? I think I seen I think Netflix was bumping that up a little bit. What's that show called?
Outer Banks.
Yes. Nigga, you be watching some wild shit. How did you find yourself to watch that?
I just looked at it and I look Netflix is really good with their marketing, I feel like, because everything just be popping up on my shit now, and I just watch it because yeah. So it just
algorithms.
Yeah. I watched a little preview and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I started watching it. And season 1 was fire. And I was like, wow, I need a season 2. And it just came out and I finished it. So
you binge watched it.
I haven't started it, but like I watched one random episode and honestly I was like, wow, it just seems so like I was like stuck into it. So I was like, I have to watch it.
Some moments were a little cheesy, but overall it was a good show.
Yeah.
Did you have Lash watch? What's that show called that me and you love, Little Bully?
Shameless?
No, not Shameless. On Netflix. Is it Love? What's that show called? I Love You?
Huh?
You know you. There we go. You.
I know.
Thank you, my son.
Watched it yet. We were supposed to watch it when we first like started talking, like a long time ago.
What?
Like right before COVID started.
You haven't watched it.
But I fell asleep.
For the audience out there who don't know what I'm talking about, when you get
That's
a chance,
crazy.
go on Netflix. I want you to watch You. If you have a husband, you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is that you have, a partner. I want you to watch this show with your partner. Men out there, I'm telling you, watch this show because the who is he? Joe? Is he the protagonist of the
Joe
show?
Goldberg. It's like the protagonist antagonist. It's fucking sick. And
Go ahead, little bit. Explain it.
I don't know how to explain it. He's like this man who's looking for love, but he's like a psycho looking for love, like a stalkerish type of lover.
But what is the hook? How do the writers make you feel about this individual? That's the hook.
How to make you root for this nigga is so bad.
Yes, that's why I want men out there to watch this, because when you watch this shit, you're gonna be like, yo, this nigga is crazy.
You be rooting for the nigga low
But
key.
then
You're like,
this-
shit, so am I crazy?
Facts. The way they wrote that show, this nigga would do some shit, and as a man, you're thinking back like, you know, I could fuck with this nigga Joe, but you just remember that he just did some foul shit. But there's something in the writing that happens, and as a man, you can relate to it. So you're like, yo, I
Right,
can
like,
rock
this
with
man
Joe, yo.
analyzes every single situation. The first episode, like one of the first scenes, he's analyzing the situation when as soon as Shorty walks into the
Facts.
library, it's him narrating the whole situation of what he's happening and what's going through his head.
Yo, how many men do that? Let's not lie, men.
All men do that shit.
All men do that shit. That's why when I saw that, I started laughing. I'm like, yo, this writing is genius, nigga.
I was like, wow.
You
It
have
kind
to
of
watch.
reminded me of like any anime watchers out there. It kind of reminded me of like a Death Note type of thing with Kira. Yagami Light. Mad smart and shit, over analyzing everything.
What about season 2?
Oh, season 2, Shorty got into the mix. Like, Shorty just as crazy as this nigga, bro.
No spoilers, but you gotta watch season 2 of the You. So yeah, that's our Netflix recommendation for the week is You season 1 and season
It
2.
comes out in the winter.
It is a must watch. Trust. Watch it. One take here. So if I stumble on my words, too bad. One take. Freestyle.
Be like that.
Don't.
It'd be like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, off of my Netflix, it's an hour. So we're about to wrap up pretty soon. So my Netflix right now, I'm watching a show called Manifest. It's a little cheesy, but there's a storyline in there that piqued my interest. The theme of the show almost had me, but then it kind of lost me. But
Yeah.
some of my coworkers told me to continue watching because it gets crazy. So I kind of know how those shows go. But the theme kind of lost me because I thought it was going in one direction, like some alien shit, but it really wasn't. So I'm a little lost now. Like, what is going on? So like, how did this damn plane just disappear into that thing and then reappear back 5 years
Right.
later?
That's what makes me like try to keep going back to that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I start to get bored.
Yeah, because the storylines in between are boring. I was like, there's the stuff that's going on, I'm not really interested in.
Like it should have been a movie, not a TV series.
I agree. So I'm watching that right now, and I'm just gonna plow through it because my coworkers are telling me to plow through it. That it gets better, but
Yeah, season 2 is slow right now. I'm kind of stuck in the mud a little bit.
I feel like the acting too is like
That's the show
it's,
last
like,
was on
very
too.
dramatic. It's like they're kind of like dramatic, but like in like a cheesy type of way too.
But some of the way they're dramatic, I'm like, I don't think this scene requires that.
Yeah.
Yes, like it's extra.
Exactly.
Yes,
For no
I
reason.
feel like they're trying a little too hard in certain scenes, and it's throwing the story off.
Yes, ingenuine.
Thank you. So see, people, I told you, we're not your average. You see how we get nerdy with this shit? Your average show will be like, I don't see anything wrong, but we're analyzing the scenes and the script and the context of the scene. See how we get nerdy with the shit?
Yeah, that show is it's okay. Season 1 had me, but then once I got to season 2, it was like, where'd you go?
I feel like the concept is very interesting, but again, like it doesn't have to be that long. I feel like it could have been
Right.
a movie and that's it.
It's a show I'll play in the background while I'm doing other things.
Yeah.
Agreed. There's another show that I'm gonna recommend. But I'm gonna talk about that show next time on Netflix. I'm not gonna because it ties into something I want to talk about. So I'm not gonna mention that show that I want people to watch for. Now into that because the show is almost over. What are we doing for gaming this week? Shout out to my gaming community because you don't know say your boy Azagiyamato Wagwan. Little Bully, what are you playing this week gaming wise?
I know a beta just came out. I haven't played it, but it was the Back for Blood beta. I haven't played it, so I have no thoughts on it. But
What the hell is that game? I see. Is that a MMO?
it looks like a 4-player co-op game.
Back for Blood. Oh, is it like Marvel's Avengers? Is it like a brawler type looter shit?
No, I don't think so. I think it was like kind of like a zombie game. It looked like.
I'm also
I'm not 100% sure. I downloaded it, but I haven't gotten to play it yet. Because Apex is fun. So
how's the streaming going with Apex?
it's fun. Even if no one watches, dude, I'm just sitting there chilling, having fun. I'm working my way up the ranks.
Now
Now
people are watching, man. Just keep grinding, son. Just keep grinding, and people will start.
I'm not
watching.
worried. I'm not worried. I'm streaming for me and not for viewers.
Yeah, there you go. That's why people are gonna tune in because y'all.
Yeah, Back for Blood is a 4-player co-op, like zombie type game.
I pass. No zombies for me. I don't
It's a
like that
beta,
shit.
so you could play it for free.
I don't really care. It's got zombies. I'm good.
You're whack.
Hey,
Fire.
hey, I am playing Marvel's Avengers right now. Okay. I hop back on. I want to say during they had a little event going for Black Widow, and I hop back on. Did the shit for Black Widow, but I didn't really like the Black Widow event. It was dumb. I just wanted something for her, so I did it. But then I came back recently, and man, the game has changed, man. Now it's still the same shit, still the same goddamn enemies, still the same villain sector dudes, but now you can play as any hero. The end game, you remember that mega level, that mega hive level crap? You remember that, Little Bully? Where you was bitching about
sense the fucking long ass bullshit.
they cut that shit in half, and it's multiplayer now. They cut it in half. It's multiplayer now. That shit is dope. They added some other shit called the Omega level threat, the super adaptoid thing. That shit is pretty hard and annoying, but it's a fun, hard and annoying. I like it. A lot of people don't hate it, but I like it. I'm like, everybody's so OP. You want something hard to challenge your ass. So I like it. And yeah, they have all these events now. It's like double XP for the whole month, and the loot.
For the whole month, their player base is small, so they want a new player base.
The loot still needs work because it's still a stat-based loot. Their skins is outrageous. Like I can't even partake in their skins. Like the skin prices are just nuts. I understand it's a free game, so to speak.
It's a free game? What are you talking about?
Meaning that they're not charging you for the heroes that are dropping.
It wasn't supposed to be. Wait, no, that's a different game, right? Yeah, that was outright. That wasn't supposed to be live service. That's
right. So Marvel Avengers is every hero is pretty much free because you can earn in-game currency and save that in-game currency to go get the battle pass for when they drop a new hero without spending real money.
Basically.
Exactly. So for them to make their money is the damn what you call it skins. Think of them skins is mad expensive, bro.
In the game itself, it's not a free-to-play game.
Yeah, in the game itself. But
they had the shitty release. They fucked up that game themselves. Release is what matters. The first impression is a lasting impression.
I agree, but you and I have been down this block already. What did I tell you? That I'm gonna give these niggas a year because I've been through this song and dance already with the live service. It is what it is now, people. The live service, when they drop a game, expect it to be trash. Give it a year later, and then it'll be much better. But the problem with those games, if you stick to it, right? Like just check in every now and then, collect your resources, keep your character up. By the time they fix the game, nigga, you good. Because when all the noobs come in,
I have that patience.
When all the noobs come in, nigga, you geared up. I be carrying these clowns now. Because I'm playing with a bunch of noobish people. So I'm carrying these clowns now. The point is, I like the game. I've been playing it when I come from work because I could just hop right on for a little bit, like an hour, fuck some shit up.
The
Get
fighting
some-
was fun in that game when we played.
Oh, I love the combat, dude. And the fact I can play with people now makes it even more fun.
But I just don't have an incentive to go back. Unless they release like a whole new storyline
Yeah,
expansion.
next week, my guy, Wakanda's dropping. Black Panther.
Okay, maybe. How long is it? How long is it? Maybe I'll hop on with you here and there. Hop off of Apex for a little bit.
You can you can hop off of Apex and stream Marvel's Avengers.
Maybe. I'm not gonna give you a definite. I'm gonna give you a maybe.
Yeah, I'll take the maybe.
Apex is fun. It's competitive.
I understand that. Trust me, I get it because you remember I used to play Destiny. I mean, I still play Destiny, but I'm not into the PvP right now because of Stasis. Stasis made me hate PvP. So that's it on the gaming front. We didn't touch about the Blizzard Activision controversy, little bully. Maybe next podcast episode we'll discuss that. I'll
Yeah.
try to make this podcast on every Sunday. I am planning a little out of town trip.
We'll record it every Sunday, but when should we post it?
I said we should drop it on them. I don't know, after you and Lash do the editing stuff, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can figure it out. I have other plans shortly in like 20 minutes. Probably gonna run late because I want to eat dinner first.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap up now, but yeah, this is Our Thoughts, Not Yours podcast. In the books, we're a little noobish to this, but I know in my heart of heart that we're gonna get better with each episode. And yeah, we're gonna have fun. Shout out to my mother. Love you, mommy, because I know I can't believe she's been on my back about this podcast. That's still trips me out. Like, she's really into it. Like, she's pushing. Shout out to my brother Ness, who I didn't really mention this podcast, but he has a radio show called SaveTheDayRadio.com. Go check out my brother Ness. There's a story behind me and him. Like, I'm into a lot of things because of him. So shout out to him. Shout out to what is it called? Belmont Vegetarian. My bad, Digi. Shout out to Belmont Vegetarian, man. If you're vegan and you love good Jamaican food, it's a great spot. If you love Jamaican food and you're a vegan, it's a double whammy, son. Food is on the money. And yeah, it's a wrap. So in closing, Little Bully, what you got in
Wrap.
closing?
Ooh,
Go stop.
bye.
Peace.